This is Radio Nepal. I'm Dila Prasai with the news, the headlines first. 9th National Games concludes in Pokhara. Tribhuvan Army Club becomes champion, securing 371 medals. Prime Minister Sherbadu Deuba stresses coordinated efforts to conserve biodiversity and tackle climate change. Chief Election Commissioner Dinesh Kumar Thapalia urges media to refrain from disseminating content likely to taint election. And US accuses Iran of deploying military experts in Russian-occupied Crimea. Now the news in detail. The 9th National Games has concluded at Pokhara Stadium yesterday evening. Addressing the closing ceremony, Prime Minister Sherbadu Deuba shared that the sports events like National Games would contribute to the development of the sports sector in the country. Prime Minister Deuba also observed the closing ceremony of the National Games as the chief guest. Earlier yesterday, Prime Minister Deuba made an on-site visit to the International Mountain Museum in Pokhara. The Prime Minister also signed the visitors' book at the museum. Vice President Nanda Bahadur Poon had inaugurated the 9th National Games in Pokhara on the 14th of October. In the National Games, the departmental team, Tribhuvan Army Club, became the champion, securing altogether 371 medals, including 172 gold medals, 110 silver and 89 bronze medals. Similarly, APF secured the second position with 219 medals, including 65 gold, 73 silver and 81 bronze medals. Another departmental team, Nepal Police, secured the third position with 194 medals, including 61 gold, 60 silver and 73 bronze medals. Prime Minister Sherbadu Deuba has stressed the need for the coordinated efforts to conserve the biodiversity and tackle the impact of climate change. Addressing the 40th anniversary function of the National Trust for Nature Conservation organized in Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Deuba directed the bodies concerned to formulate concrete and result-oriented programs for conserving nature. The Prime Minister expressed the belief that the nature's bounty and biodiversity could be an important basis for the development of tourism and achieving prosperity. As the Prime Minister said, Nepal had achieved significant success in protecting the tiger, and this had sent out a positive message in the international community. Prime Minister Deuba also applauded the role of the National Trust for Nature Conservation in carrying out community-based conservation initiatives. Chief Election Commissioner Dinesh Kumar Thapalia has urged the media and social site users to refrain from disseminating content likely to taint the election and democracy. Addressing a virtual training for media persons organized by Meta yesterday, Chief Election Commissioner Thapalia expressed that media should self-regulate and self-restrain when disseminating the election-related news and content. The training was held at the request of the Election Commission in view of the House of Representatives and the Province Assembly elections being held on November 20. The Election Commission has, for the first time, described the false news, misinformation and hate speech relating them to the Election Code of Conduct for its regulation. The Chief Election Commissioner stressed the need for support from all sides to conduct the elections in a free and fearless environment. The Election Commission has sought a clarification within 24 hours from CPN Unified Socialist Chairman Madhav Kumar Nepal for his statement on assurance of free visa and free ticket to attract voters. Leader Nepal is also a candidate for the House of Representatives from Rautahat Constituency 1. The Election Commission has said the clarification was sought in regard to the pledge made by candidate Nepal in an electoral campaign to the potential migrant workers promising them a foreign employment if he were elected. Likewise, the Election Commission has written to the District Police Office Rohtak to advance further actions over the same issue. Nepali ambassador to Pakistan, Tapas Adhikari, says it is the time to translate the goodwill existing between Nepal and Pakistan into economic cooperation and interactions. In a meeting with President of Federation of Pakistan Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Irfan Iqbal Sheikh, and office bearers of the chamber in Islamabad yesterday, Ambassador Adhikari shared the government of Nepal's economic policies to attract foreign direct investment that could be useful to Pakistani investors and traders to promote trade and investment. A partial solar eclipse is taking place in Nepal on the 25th of October. Nepal Calendar Determination Development Committee's Executive Director Surya Prasad Thungel shared that the eclipse would begin at 4:52 p.m. and the sun will set at 5:24 p.m. So the eclipse will be visible from Nepal for around 32 minutes. Although it cannot be for the scene from Nepal, the eclipse will withdraw at 7:30 p.m. You are listening to Radio Nepal 8 AM English News Bulletin. We continue with the international updates now. The U.S. has accused Iran of deploying military experts in Russian-occupied Crimea to help launch drone attacks in Ukraine. According to a U.S. spokesperson, the Iranians in Crimea are trainers and tech support workers. The Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, was struck by so-called kamikaze drones on Monday deployed by Russia but believed to be Iranian-made. The UK has announced sanctions on Iranian businesses and individuals responsible for supplying the drones. British Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned as UK Prime Minister in a statement outside Downing Street, becoming the shortest-serving Prime Minister in UK history. Truss will also stand down as leader of the Conservative Party after her policies triggered economic turmoil and obliterated her authority. According to the BBC, Leader Truss said she could not deliver the mandate on which she was elected as Tory leader and had notified the King that she was resigning. Truss' premiership came under renewed pressure after the Home Secretary resigned and a chaotic vote on fracking. There will be a Conservative leadership election to be completed within the next week. The deaths of nearly 100 children in Indonesia have prompted the country to suspend sales of all syrup and liquid medication. It comes just weeks after cough syrup in the Gambia was linked to the deaths of nearly 70 children. Indonesia said some syrup medicine was found to contain ingredients linked to acute kidney injuries, which have killed 99 young children this year. It is not clear if the medicines were imported or locally produced. On Thursday, Indonesian health officials said they had reported around 200 cases of acute kidney injuries in children, most of who were aged under 5. Earlier this month, the World Health Organization issued a global alert over 4 cough syrups that were linked to the deaths of almost 70 children in the Gambia. Now the general weather forecast for the country for today. Forecasting Division says the weather is likely to be partly to generally cloudy in the hilly and mountainous areas of Gandaki Province, Lumbini Province, Karnali Province, and Sudur Paschim Province, and partly cloudy to mainly fair in the rest of the provinces. Brief rain is also likely to continue at 1 or 2 places of Gandaki Province, Lumbini Province, Karnali Province, and Sudur Paschim Province. Kathmandu's weather report now. Maximum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 12.3 degrees Celsius. With this news, we have come to the end of this bulletin, but before we wrap up the headlines once again. Ninth National Games concludes in Pokhara. Tribhuvan Army Club becomes champion, securing 371 medals. Prime Minister Sherbadu Deuba stresses coordinated efforts to conserve biodiversity and tackle climate change. Chief Election Commissioner Dinesh Kumar Thapalia urges media to refrain from disseminating content likely to taint the election. And US accuses Iran of deploying military experts in Russian-occupied Crimea. Well, that's all that we have for this edition. Our next English news edition is at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website www.radionepal.gov.np for more news and online programs. Stay tuned, stay safe and have a good day.